we already have the initial version of the user interface. As I've mentioned, we have all the inserted strings separated as resources. This means that we can start translating our application right away. For this purpose, we'll create a new file including strings, which will be the version subjected to translation. When right-clicking on the res directory, we choose the new Android Resource File option. Here, we can specify the type of resource we want to create. In our case, it'll be values. We can also specify the name we want to use to save the file. The default convention is that the texts are present in the strings XML file, but it's not determined in any way. We may create a file with any name as long as it includes the relevant data. To specify that we don't mean the default file, but a file which includes a translation, we must decide where our file is supposed to be located. As a default, it's saved to the values directory, which is called if a more specific directory cannot be found. As we want our file to react to a language, we choose an option which gives us the possibility to choose the language to be used. After choosing the right language, the directory name changes automatically. The suffix which specifies the language is added. If we want to translate, for instance to Polish or any other language solely in a horizontal orientation, we can choose such an option. A useful thing in Android Studio is that IDE automatically knows in which order the parameters need to be specified. In Android's case, the directory order is absolutely crucial. However, we don't want a version only for a specific orientation. A new file, strings XML, was created. The system immediately prompts us that it's a translation to Polish, but you can set any other language you wish. The basic method of translation is to copy the things we want to substitute. We do not copy the things which have to remain unchanged. After replacing the text we're interested in with the local counterparts, we return to our interface. One of the interesting possibilities of the available preview, apart from the previews on various devices, is the possibility of checking what our application will look like in case of translations. After clicking the globe icon, we automatically get a list of possible translations. As we can see in this slide, the gaps between the controls are much greater than in our application. This is because I've used the margin mechanism. These mechanisms are often used in the building of user interfaces. They allow adding the air, that is, the space between controls, which makes the user interface easier to read. Let's add some gaps in our application using the margin mechanism. Margins may be added to each side of the control, meaning above, below, or on the sides. If we use the basic version of margin, it will be added from all sides. If we use the layout underscore margin equals 100 dp line, the control will not only be surrounded by 100 dp gaps from the top and bottom, but also from the sides. We want to add a specific value only above and below, so we can do this manually using specific values. If we want to add margins from the sides, we actually have 4 possibilities. We may add left and right margins, which always add the set value on the specified side, or start and end. In case of Polish and similar languages, we deal with start on the left and end on the right side. However, mind you, there are also right to left languages, where start starts on the right and end is on the left. We won't need this.